looking for a contractor lately and had issues. So generally there's problems right now, especially with the pandemic and how everything is going. There's a lot of labor shortages and people are asking for more wages who are actually qualified to do the job. So you do have a lot of problems with finding contractors, and so we want to get to how do you find a contractor and not run into issues at least as much as you might in some other situations. And so we're going to go into what do we look for when we're searching for contractors and how do we go about that. So the first thing I would be looking at really is the licensing. Do they have a proper license, right? They have insurance. And then this is something that you want to make sure is, are there any warranties as well, right? Because some people should be guaranteeing their work or warrantying their work for a specific amount of time. And so really that becomes very important in the first three things that you want to be looking for when you are hiring a contractor, right? And so let's say now that you've gone through that process and you've picked out a couple contractors that you do like, and so here's a few more questions and we'll go ahead and answer this as well as much as we can. So we want to find out the size of the company. How many people work here? How long have you been in the business, right? And so for us, it was very important to make sure that whenever we're doing work, we're doing quality work. And so then the next question is, how do they run their crews, right? Are they running everybody in-house, meaning that they have all their own vendors and contractors that work underneath them as, let's say, W-2 employees, or do they subcontract most everything out? And so for us here, we do have our one person on staff, but we do actually subcontract with quite a few different vendors because what we've noticed is it may be that we can get things done a little bit cheaper in-house, but oftentimes the time factor is a little bit more important. And so really the way that I bring that up to a lot of owners is you can have us do, let's say, a unit turn in-house, and let's say we save $500 on that unit turn. But that unit turn then takes 3 weeks, and we have another week or two where the tenant isn't in, and so on and so forth. And so you've lost a month worth of rent. And let's say that month worth of rent is $900. We can go ahead and you spend the extra $500 and we can make sure that the job is done within a week or two. And now we have a week or two before the tenant is in and you have your payment from this tenant before you have to make your mortgage payment. So you've saved your $900 basically. And so yes, there is a little vig of about $400 that's there, but really the time versus the actual work completion does matter. And for us, we are kind of taking a lot of stock in that fact that we can basically get the job done a little bit faster. It will be a higher quality and it may cost a little bit more, but in the long term, it should save you more by being that way. And so really you do kind of want to go with whoever you're comfortable with, but for us it becomes, as a professional, time is money, and especially in this construction industry. And so we want to make sure that we're going as fast as we possibly can with the highest quality people. So higher quality of work at a faster pace is oftentimes worth a little bit more money. So have you ever had any financial issues as a company? Have you had to file for bankruptcy or had a lawsuit or whatever it is? Another thing to ask is, how does the lien process work? So when working with contractors or construction managers, a lot of people will lien the properties before anything is really done. So when do those liens get signed off can be a very big question. We've seen people where, hey, the work was done, we've given you a check, and the contractor didn't remove the lien because they're saying that we didn't get paid for XYZ part of the job. And so now you have this original lien that's on the property, plus you've already paid out a little bit. So you want to make sure that that stuff is taken care of. Make sure that your liens get released before, basically on payment, if you will. And so that's very important as well. Communication, right? So big problem in the construction industry is communication. And so having an open and clear communication plan. And then finally, do you have a contract, and what does that contract look like and entail? Other thing I guess to look at would be the employees. Where are they coming from, and are they licensed? Are they insured? Are they bonded? Are these professional people? Are you getting them from Home Depot? things like that. So really looking at kind of, how all of that works. And then finally, a draw schedule, right? So a big problem that we see is, well, contractor says, hey, I'm going to take 50% up front. Well, first off, you can't do that. You can only take 10%. Second off, if the contractor gets 50% up front, you have some contractors that just walk off the job because then it costs them too much to finish the job. So really what we're looking at is, we get paid, when do we get paid, and what is the schedule? So that way everybody has to be held accountable. Right? The contract should be held accountable for showing up and getting the work done and doing it properly and getting it done on schedule. As long as that's done, then there should be a schedule in which he gets paid. And so for us, we break that down often into trades, often into portions of the job, and then we agree upon that prior to the job starting. So we know, okay, we get to this point, you owe X check. When you get to that point, you owe X check. And so that becomes very easy for people to work through. And that's kind of the whole point of getting into this is we want to make sure that, we're providing a good quality service. And if you're looking for a contractor for yourself and you're not in kind of Kern County, Bakersfield area, use some of these tips to find yourself as well. If you saw some value, please comment below, hit that thumbs up button, subscribe. We look forward to seeing you again, and hopefully we'll bring you some more valuable content. If you have any other ideas of things you would like to see or you've heard about, please comment below and we'll make some videos on that as well. Thank you. Take care.